and welcome to the Game Cantina, where I am Una.
And I am Mega Krypto.
You guys have probably, if you've been watching some of our other videos, like the what the heck's that other game that we play? The Last of Us?
The Last of Us. This is the last time you get to introduce us.
Of course, I'm fired already. You're a one-man show now. But I've been obsessed with Mega Man for years. That doesn't correlate to any form of skill in this new game, but Mega Man 11 is the newest game in the franchise. Unfortunately, they haven't been pushing out anymore, but I've been telling Krypto about how amazing this game is. So he's going to check it out now for the first time today, and we're going to do a little bit of a walkthrough. And what we finally get after, what, like 2-3 decades of Mega Man game is what you're seeing now is plot. Look at this. We get backstory about how Dr. Light and Dr. Wiley didn't agree into the proper way that they ought to, build these machines with this double gear system, right? This is the original rift where they were working together. Light betrays him kind of in a sense, and we get actual plot where now we see why they hate each other, right? Here he's walking away pissed at his proposal for how to move forward, because that ends with Dr. Light's, and then he becomes the outcast, basically.
Now, Dr. Light is the one that creates Mega Man?
Bro.
Right?
We're going to be on a Mega Man podcast show thingy here, and you don't even know who created. Yes, it's Dr. Light, and Dr. Wiley is the one that kind of creates the bad guys or corrupts the machines to become bad guys. Yeah, no, you're right. I'm just teasing you.
Yeah, that's Jim Carrey.
Right? All right, so I don't claim to be a master at this already. I'm going to do Newcomer, which basically just means that if you fall off a cliff, it magically brings you back, just so that way, we're not speedrunners here. We don't want people out in the audience to have to suffer through playing a whole level over and over again just because
20XX.
I'm not good at this game.
Thomas Light.
Yeah, do that.
Well, the only reason I knew that is because Thomas Light looked like Mega Man. Like, he must have made him look like himself.
Oh, are you going straight into God? You're going straight into God complex here right away that he's the master created.
The young Dr. Light looked like the face of Mega Man. Did it not?
Okay. It did. So first of all, you'll notice that the animation on this looks really polished, right? Like,
oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
I think it looks really beautiful. Now, if you don't know, roll is kind of like, you get that. Do you know Mega Man's name in Japan?
Jumpman? No, that's Mario.
It's
Blaster Man?
It's Rockman.
Rockman? That doesn't even make sense.
That's what his name originally was. It was changed to Mega Man when it came to America for sellability. But if you think about it, his name in Japan is Rock, and her name's Roll. Right?
Rock and Roll.
Yeah. And that's Auto on the far right. So you'll notice, too, now, allegedly, it's not a reference to the band, but do you remember the dog's name in this?
Splash. No clue.
It's Rush. So,
Rush.
Allegedly, it's not named after the band. I don't know. But
I love Rush.
There's a whole bunch of, rock and roll references and stuff like that in the show.
Okay.
Stand back, everyone. I'm going to handle this.
Mega Man is a kid. What is going on here? I feel like I'm in a different dimension.
Yeah, he's always played kind of the student role, if you will, when it comes to Dr. Light.
I thought he was a robot.
He is a robot.
But he looks like a kid.
He's like Pinocchio. He's struggling to be the human being, right? It's always a coming of age tale with the young Mega Man trying to become his own man, his own robot. His mentor, Dr. Light, always gets taken away or kidnapped. Classical setup for every single one of these.
Yeah, I guess they've modernized him since I saw Mega Man 2 back in 1988, and now he actually looks like a person. Because back then, he does not look like a person. I mean, it looks like a person, but it doesn't look like a real person. You can tell he is clearly a robot.
Yeah, and him along with Roll are the ones that take on the most human-like expressions and such. You'll see all the other robots here on the left, Dr. Light's robots. Well, first of all, they're about to get stolen by Dr. Wiley and reprogrammed with his speed gear crap.
Okay.
But they're always, they serve a function. They're robot masters. They do these things to help humans. But Rock and Roll are arguably sometimes more human than the people are in this universe, in Mega City.
Oh, Mega City.
Yeah, see, now I'm the one getting deep on you over here.
Yeah, you are. So now Mega Man is gonna save the day as usual. Do you play as Mega Girl there?
First of all, roll. All right.
Mega Girl. It's Mega Man and Mega Girl.
Okay. Come on, bro. Like we gotta be forward thinking here, right? The women don't have to be appendages of the male role.
Okay, Mega Peoples.
You Mega Peoples.
Hey, no, if we play two-player, could I play as her?
No, unfortunately, it's just Mega Man in this one. Now, with that said, though, there are other games where you get to play as his brother, like Proto Man, and there's like an Axel at one point, and Zero was always a fan favorite. Like when it came out that you could be Zero and like you'd be a lot more mobile, and you could use like the sword for close quarter combat. It really changed like how the levels played. That I think that was some of like the highlights for the franchise when they started entering a lot more mobility with Zero.
I've seen that one played before. Again, I haven't played since Mega Man 2. And I did play recently when you told me that you were getting back into this and we might record. I did go back and play Mega Man 2 because that was the one I felt like I was the most familiar with. And I did terrible. I forgot how hard these games are.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
They my old different, like, arthritic hands anymore, man. I can't do it.
Yeah, well, this one's interesting, too, because when they started introducing these new characters, so Axel could fly, okay, like for a short period of time. You had Zero that was zippy all over the room, and you had Mega Man who was the normal character. Designing levels for, 3 different modes of play has got to be like super hard, right? Like, how do you design a level to be beatable by all the character types? This one, they introduced this double gear system. I'm gonna skip the explanation of it.
How dare you?
I know, I'm robbing you of it, but I'll explain it as we play because it's a lot more interesting.
Do you always start with that one? Remember back in the day you had to go in a certain order? Do you know the order? Or do you just play randomly?
There's an order for this one too. You can start with him or Impact Man. Impact Man's a little bit more difficult. So just like the original Mega Man, you have like just regular shots with your like M Buster here.
And then you can switch.
And then you can charge it up and then have like a more powerful shot too. Right?
Okay.
So that's the one thing about the shot. The other thing about Mega Man 2 is that they introduced like a slide, like I think in Mega Man 3. So it's been around for a while.
Oh yeah, the slide. I know the slide.
But the Mega Man X games introduced like climbing the walls and some of the double air dashes and stuff like that. But this game, Mega Man 11, which is really cool, probably why they only have Mega Man as opposed to not having Zero, is you have this double gear system. So underneath like my health on the left, you'll see.
I see it.
The red gear and the blue gear. So if I hit like the left trigger button, it's what's called like the power gear, where my shots are a lot more powerful. If I hit my right trigger button, it slows down time. It's called speed gear. So I'm moving like, so much faster, which was the intro with Dr. Wiley. If you were listening to the audio, I know we're sitting here talking, but he goes speed gear. And like, then he's able to go a lot faster than us. So you can do that in this game too, where like, let's say to hit this guy, you got to get in that open slot, which is kind of hard to time. You could just do the speed gear to slow him down. And then it's a lot easier to time your shot on that. All right.
Now, does that all take your special power? The meter on the left or the right?
Neither one. It's its own little like special gear thing there that like powers up on its own.
Oh.
So you'll see it here. If I activate it real quick, you see now how like the speed gear is going. You see my little power bar there.
That's your limitation.
Yeah, I can stop it. You see how it's starting to recharge, and now it's charged again. So if I turn on my speed gear, see how the little bar's going up. Now, when I turn it off, look at the left. You see that little red bar recharging now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so right there below.
That's how you know.
Oh, yeah, so it's going down. Okay. So you dead!
No, I got this guy. I got him. Don't you worry about me, bruh. I got this game. But obviously, speedrunners are, like, crazy good at being able to, like, time some of this crap. We ain't that team here. But
no,
that's kind of like one of the cool things about this is like right now, like the intro levels are real easy, so they're not hard to do. But like you're going to get to some bosses like this that are like pretty difficult, and you can do this power shot to like kind of like do a little bit more power here.
Okay. Yeah, I just remember that, back in the day it was you had to get the special power that was the rock, paper, scissor, basically, but it was rock, paper, scissor, missile Snake Man, all the different powers that coordinated to which worked best against them. So it's kind of cool that they've thrown a few new little tweaks in there. I mean, they always were very innovative, I feel like. Oh, okay, so there was a little thing you did, right? The little dog.
Yeah, I didn't tell you about it yet. We'll get to it here. And there's like small little tricks. Like right there, I jumped to avoid being slowed down. So right there, I did the speed gear to move past that. If I didn't, like another one of those big thingies would have fallen right there, and I've had to have like navigated it too. So you could use the speed gear to like get past some things like that, so you don't have to, you could just go through the level a little bit quicker, basically. But yeah, what I didn't tell you about was that the dog, of course, is Rush, right?
Right.
And what's kind of slow about some of the other games of Mega Man is you had to like press a button, or you had to pause it to kind of like go switch, at least until some of the later ones, and that kind of slows down your game.
Yeah, you'd go to the pause menu to switch powers.
Right, and it's just annoying, where some people just didn't do it just because it was just annoying to them, right? Well, what they did in this one is now, since there's more buttons on the Xbox controller, you can just press like the what is this, the Y button, and it'll just summon Rush instantly. Whoops, see there I failed. So rather than starting the level over, since I'm doing the Newcomer, Beat just comes along and saves me, so that way we don't have to redo all that again.
That's funny. Well, that's nice for young people that, that was one of the most frustrating things back in the day, right? I mean, you started playing video games maybe in an arcade. It's like you had to go somewhere and play a video game, and you wasted all your quarters because the games were designed to, basically suck your quarters and your money from you.
Yeah.
And then you finally bought a Nintendo or Super Nintendo or N64 or whatever, and you played the game, and they made them so hard because there's only 4 levels with sort of the similar design as an arcade machine, but they knew that you would only play this one game maybe, and those levels were so dang hard, or the controls were so poor, and that made it very frustrating, especially to a young player or a new player, a novice video gamer just getting into the hobby, where this allows you to play, have fun, gain a little bit of confidence, and then you can move up to more difficult as you go along. Because, I mean, part of the video game experience, of course, is winning and conquering and feel a selfish accomplishment, but sometimes I just want to see the storyline, or just play the game, or just see all the different designs. I mean, because if you kept dying and you never made it to level 3, you never got to see the amazing level design of 3.
Right. Something else that's kind of interesting about this game too is like, crap. I'll fall down this little hole here real quick for you. Real high entertaining player here. Actually, I forgot what I was going to say. Never mind.
So, on this game, do they have... Now, back in the day, they didn't, but in this game, do they have, like, New Game Plus, like they do with a lot of modern games, or did this kind of stick to just the old adage of, like, you just play through it once, and you beat it, and you're done? But a lot of games nowadays have that, where you get to play through it a second time with all your power-ups, and you go through and try to do, like, collectibles, or the speed run, or stuff like that.
There's some replay. There's, like, some time attack modes, but really, for me, the Mega Man, I mean... I probably played Mega Man 2 way more than anyone else, and there's no replayability to that. To me, sometimes it's just about getting faster at the game, you know what I mean?
Right, okay.
So for this one, it's kind of like the same fun for me too. But what's cool is, okay, so I'm going to bonk this guy here, and you'll see what he's going to do. He's going to turn into this gigantic freaking robot, right? Like the scope of the Mega Man games has just really increased with some of the newer Mega Man games, which I think is like just so cool.
Bam.
And it's the same thing here. He's going to, like, turn into, like, this guy that just throws a whole bunch of cubes at you. And, I don't know, there's just, you see 3 different modes for the villains now, which I think is, like, just really kind of elevates the fun, as opposed to them just having one attack pattern, too.
Definitely makes it more challenging.
Yeah.
And now you have his power!
Exactly. So... that's probably the worst level design of all of them. And when I say level design, it's because the whole time, and here's what I was going to say earlier, I forgot, is you start out kind of weak, right? Like all you have is your wimpy M-Buster that you can just fire the shots, but then you start getting more powers like this. But not only that, when you start out on that first level, where was I most of the time? I was in the bottom left corner of the screen, right? Like a couple times I'd weave back and forth up, but that's about it. You weren't really using the whole screen space when it came to that level. And I think the game designers do some of that on purpose. Well, now what you're gonna see is I'm gonna start using a lot more of the like the level here, right? So first of all, there's this acid that you can jump into here, and it'll hurt you, right? And already you see how I'm jumping up now, and now I'm on the bottom of the screen, now I'm on the top of the screen, stuff like that. When I get to this next part, you'll see I'm at the top of the screen here. And it's just about kind of like using your screen real estate that I think, as you progress, you start to realize, you're getting more powerful through these different weapons and such. So here you'll see, like, I'm jumping up and down over through these things. It's just using more of your real estate of the screen, and I think it makes it more fun when it does that.
Also more challenging, almost like the idea of three-dimensional games. I mean, this is a very old school way of designing a game. 2D platformer, very common, been around for almost 40 years probably, but still being able to come up with these new creative ideas. I think that's why this game and Metroid and Mario, they're the staples, and they will almost always be around because of that.
Yeah. Now, another thing to notice here is you notice how that, like, the bottom of the screen is changing colors.
Yeah.
So you'll see it's like yellow sometimes, and like I can go in the yellow and it doesn't hurt, but when I go into the green, that's when it's acid and it hurts. So those little guys are like shooting things up that is changing the environment too. So it's like the changing environment as well that kind of makes it a little bit more interesting per se.
Like we talked about in Last of Us, I love when they're creative with the color scheme and whatnot.
Oh yeah, the color screen's different. So you also, another thing here too, I didn't mention earlier. Well, and again, like the gates are in the top and the bottom, and here you're going to see me zigzag through the level here. It's just kind of changing the experience. But you'll notice here I can change the weapons that I have, and I'm not going to the start screen to do it. Here I'm switching to Blockman's power, and now I'm switching back to Mega Man's power. The lower right, like, thumbstick, you can just flick that in like the direction like that you want to change the power to, and you can just quickly
doing that.
Yeah, and you can just quickly change the style or the weapon that you're using to like more quickly switch, basically. So it doesn't slow down your gameplay the way that it did when you'd have to hit start to change it, basically, too. And I think a lot of players really appreciated that because it made the game go faster. It made them feel like a more action game, because this is an action game, right? Like, you don't want to go into a start screen and fiddle around with what weapon you are. You want to blow up the bad guys, right?
Yeah, pause and let me get my sword out. And that was one of the frustrating things, always about like Zelda, is it would break the continuity of battle.
Yeah.
Boom.
It just it slows down an action game.
Yeah.
Whoops. So it's just all part of the thing that I think makes Mega Man a little bit more, makes it a little bit more of an adventure, a little bit more of an action game with some of the choices that they made with this game. And these spikes too, if you play it like on a normal difficulty, if you get hit by them, you instantly blow up. But we ain't messing with that now. We're not messing with that. we got bosses to beat. So what I really want to do is get you to show you another boss here. I'll show you the acid man here, but then what I want to do is show you once you get the Impact Man, like how different it is once you have a lot more power. So what we'll do is we'll play through this level, and that's kind of difficult the first time you do that. So we'll play through this level, and then we'll jump ahead to one of the later levels when you have a lot more power ups, and you can see how much more fun it can be with like all the different like things that you can do.
So that's one thing that made this game, I think, slightly unique compared to some of the other platformers was, I mean, there's Mario, right? But then like this one, you have a different type of attack, but it's and also just not only quick, the environment.
Look how beautiful like this boss looks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's like the environment and the characters, and not to say that Mario doesn't have amazing designs and whatnot, but I feel like this game more so was not only the traversing the environment, but also the fighting of the enemies. Especially in the early Mario games. Now, eventually, Mario, I think, kind of maybe surpassed Mega Man a little bit in that, with some of the creative ways to fighting bosses in the later Mario games. But this is still, I mean, you think about it when people discuss games, it's, you know, being like Mario, or being like Mega Man, or being like Metroid.
Because what I want to do is get Impact Man, and then I want to do Torch Man stage. But I need to get Impact Man's powers here real quick to do it.
All right, do it. You can win it. Well, that's kind of old school vibe. I like that. Like in the TV, it looks kind of retro.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And cheat. That's basically what it is, right? And sometimes that was just fun, too, to just feel all super powerful. I remember being able to turn on the cheats back on Doom and just to being able to obliterate. Like, I beat the game, I've played it, I know I can beat it. I just want to have fun or just feel, you know, that godlike power. I mean, that's really what a video game is, right? You're doing things that you cannot do in life. I'm not a robot. I can't do all these fantastical things. And I understand adding a level of challenge to a game, but it also can diminish on your fun.
I think that's part of the beauty of the Mega Man games, too, is that, like, especially in the Mega Man X games, you get these extra bonuses, such as, like, you know, being able to air dash and being able to, you know, take twice as many hits. You feel like a more powerful player because of the, you know, the power-ups that the game gets you. So, like, where you were when you started is not where you are when you end up. And I think that's, like, the beauty of Mega Man is that, like, you just feel a sense of accomplishment. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And with that, I mean, people that want to play it super hard, kill you in one-hit mode, they have that ability. But people just want to have fun, have that ability. And playing in super hard killed mode and beating it is a sense of fun and accomplishment for some players, but not others. And right. if you want your true test, then you have to play against other people, because this is a pre-programmed game. I mean, the computer, the AI inside of the game is programmed to act a certain way. It is somewhat predictable. Like, that thing is always going to go over to the left. But if I was controlling that, I could make these do random things that you weren't anticipating. And so it's like, I don't know, when people kind of argue, like, you got to play it on hard mode. But like, no, I play it on mode I want to have fun with. If you truly want a challenge, you'd be playing PvP. And a lot of people do. And they love playing PvP.
Yeah, you just got to find what works for you.
Yeah. And I wish, that's why I'm very jealous about younger gamers that get to go through that, because they don't have to experience the serious pain and agony of not having fun trying to beat a level over and over and then dying and not having it continues and no save states, and boom, right there, you start the whole level over. Oh, you don't have any guys, you don't have any continues, start the whole game over. Right. That's just not fun. Not fun to me at this age. When I was 13, I had infinite time, then maybe it was.
Exactly. And if I were playing this where I didn't have that mode, I would never have taken that risk. You know what I mean? I just did it because I'm like, well, this might speed it up. It didn't work. Like, I know that I don't have the skill to basically do that. Oh, look, an extra life. Boop. So you change your play style based on things like that too, you know?
For sure. And I was okay at some games. I feel like I was better at others at certain times of my life and how much I had time to practice and put into it. But a lot of the games that took those precise movements, my hands just wouldn't do it.
Oh no!
I didn't have the reflexes, I feel, and I didn't have the time and maybe the patience to memorize those patterns and have the ability to beat those games. And some of my friends did, and that's why it was always fun to watch other people play. And I mean, obviously, Twitch is a huge thing, and people just like to watch other people play for that enjoyment. But I really got into, you know, like the Final Fantasies and stuff, because that was something I knew I could always play, and you didn't have to you didn't have to have this great skill or coordination. Pretty much anybody can beat Final Fantasy, right?
Yeah, you just if you have a pulse and you can move around, then you can beat the game.
Yeah, and I guess you do have to have the patience to be able to grind. I guess I guess I do like a little bit of the grindiness of some games.
Yeah,
because it's a familiar, it's something I know I can do, like Dragon Warrior or Breath of Fire, any of those old school games that I have over on my shelf. And maybe why I can't quit Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Oh, so you bubble up acid and he just hurts himself by hitting you?
No, I just that's the bad thing about this is like you bubble up, and that's after you bubble up is when you can shoot. Is part of the problem. So you have to like bubble up and then not get hit, which is kind of the curse of this weapon. I mean, if you're good at this game, I mean, it'd obviously be no problem. But for me, it's a little bit of a challenge.
You almost got him. Boom! See you there, Megatron. He looks like a transformer.
He does, doesn't he?
More than meets the eye.
So we were talking earlier about like the order that you beat bosses. Like you'll see, like I use Block Man to beat Acid Man. I use Acid Man to beat Impact Man. You can start with Impact Man, and usually that's what a lot of speedrunners will do. But just like that middle part is just so annoying if you just don't have the Acid Shield. But if you get the Impact Man power, it makes the game go a lot faster. This is my favorite when you start getting some of these powers like we were talking about earlier. I'll show you what the Impact Man one does. Plus, you've seen that we've done like the, this helps me move a little bit faster, and you'll see I'll do that occasionally. Well, now you can do like this powerful dash that also hurts enemies too with, what was that? Impact Man's powers.
Yeah. You know, one thing that I've noticed too that we really haven't discussed is, oh, that's cool, is the level design is also based off of the boss's characteristic. Like when you were fighting Acid Man, it was all acid stuff.
Right.
And here is Bounce Man, and it's all bouncy things. And you're going to bounce around and hit stuff that's going to hurt you, like a ping pong ball or in a, not an arcade, but a pinball machine.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Uh-oh. I lost it. Man, like, so are there only 9 bosses in this? Because I feel like I know we're playing it on the super can't die mode, but we're like a half an hour and you're like you could beat this whole game in an hour, right? I mean, there's speedrunners that can beat it in like 7 minutes, but it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, no, and the way all the Mega Man games have worked have been, is it frozen still?
No, it's good.
Oh, okay. The way all the Mega Man games have typically worked has been you have the bosses that are like 1 through 8, you know what I mean? Like the normal bosses, and then you have like a Dr. Wiley stage. And there'll be like 4 or 5 mini bosses to Dr. Wiley. So it's always you beat 8 Robot Masters, and then after that you have to beat Dr. Wiley basically and his mini bosses.
Okay. Did you ever watch the Mega Man movie?
There's a movie?
Yeah,
I've seen
it's
like
terrible.
there's a show. I know. I've seen the show, of course. Where do you see the movie?
There's a movie. Yeah, 2010.
Huh, no, I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's so bad. Yeah, it came out in 2010. A brave robot volunteers to combat the mechanoid minions of a mad scientist bent on world domination. It's so bad.
I obviously have to watch it now. Goodness.
Oh, but you will not like it.
Oh, no, I'm going to like it.
Oh, no, you won't. Like, it's one of those so bad that you think it would... Like, it's, there's the movies that are so bad they move into the good realm. But then there are ones that are so bad they move into the good realm and then move back into the bad realm. That's this one. Yeah.
Is it live action? Just tell me, is it live action? I need to know.
Oh, it's live action. Oh yeah.
These are things I need to know.
Oh yeah, it's live action. It's live action. And let's see, what is its thing on? My internet's going. I guess the stream is lagging my internet because it won't load. I was gonna look up the. I was gonna look up the Rotten Tomato score. Ooh. So you get only one bounce?
With Rush, yeah.
So it looks like Mega Man is so bad it doesn't even have a Rotten Tomatoes score. Maybe it's just old.
So bad you don't even get a rating. Oh goodness.
A lot of RNG here, right?
Yeah, like I'm sure if you like got really good, you'd know exactly where to jump and such, but I'm kind of, super cash.
Now, when did this game come out?
I want to say it was like 2000. I don't know. It's within the last couple of years, I want to say. Okay. Probably like three or 4 years old or something. Goodness.
Let's just look. Mega Man 11. Mega Man 11 came out in 2018. Yeah, so just a little over 2 years ago. Oh, 3 years this September. Like in a week. It'll be the 3-year anniversary. We did not plan that. That's kind of cool.
The sad thing, though, too, is that they said when they were releasing this that if it did well, they'd come out with a new game, like a new Mega Man game. I guess it didn't do so well because they didn't come out with a new Mega Man game.
Well, I'm sitting. So there was a thing that said people asked, "Will there be a Mega Man 12?" And it says here, according to sources, the 12th entry into the Mega Man series classic adventure is slated for a Switch, PlayStation 4, PC, Xbox One release on November 5th, 2023, celebrating the franchise's 35th year anniversary.
Oh, there we go. And
So
that's going to be a day one purchase for me, and I look forward to seeing you back on that day here, Mr. Krypto.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, I'm sure that is. I don't know when that information came out about Mega Man 12, but
oh my gosh, this is my least favorite.
Oh, that's annoying. Oh, dang! See, like, imagine you were a speedrunner and you fell, and you'd have to start all the way your speedrun over. How frustrating that would be.
Oh yeah. Well,
those guys have incredible patience.
The precision that they have is insane. I don't understand how they could play the games like so precisely. But here's an example of like how you use like the special power-ups is you can use it to get that over there, but if you didn't have Impact Man's skill over here, you wouldn't be able to get this weapon right here.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like, just like all the other Mega Man games, the more bosses that you get, the more powerful you are, the more things you can do, stuff like that.
And that's one thing that's always incredible about, game designers and the developers. And I know a lot of times people bash them and stuff, especially when you're playing, quote, a bad game or a game that you feel is poorly made or unfair, is that they have to balance your ability that you're getting better, at least they're anticipating you're getting better as you move through the game, but also they're powering up your main character and having to try to make the game harder all at the same time while you're getting better and more powerful. It's definitely a balancing act, no pun intended here on Bounce Man's level.
Yeah. I'm just glad I was able to make this jump here because sometimes it is so annoying.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah. I got them skills. I don't mean to brag, but I pretty much make that every time I try,
Yeah, right.
So here I'll start this boss battle here just using the Mega Buster, okay? And you'll see how like they've really programmed this rather interesting. So you'll see he's made out of all these bouncy balls, basically, right? And he'll fly around the room, and as you'll see when I hit him with the X Buster, it kind of changes his direction, changes his speed, stuff like that. Like you could see, like they took the consideration of like the weapons you're using into effect here too. Now, here I gotta wait for him to come back down. But now I'm going to hit him with Impact Man's ability. And watch what happens now. Oh, I guess it's just going to kill him.
You just killed him. Like, you just stuck him right to the wall.
Yeah, that's not what I intended to do. So normally when he has more health, what happens is his body splits up into a whole bunch of different parts. And then his, he's got like 5 or 6 balls flying around the room. Terrible demo by me here, right?
Yeah, you piñated his butt.
I did. But they did take into consideration if you hit him first with the impact, like his body, like you has his head floating one direction, his arm floating in another direction, and his main body, and you have to hit his main body to do damage. It's kind of interesting.
So depending on which ability you use against him, it could give you a different outcome of how you would have to fight him. That's genius. Yeah. Well, I see why this got a high rating on Metacritic.
Now, the next level that we're going to do is Fuse Man's, and this level is visually gorgeous, and it has a lot of like the throwbacks where, do you remember, like you said you played Mega Man 2, like Quick Man stage, how you had to do like those different, like, you had to time when you did like the jumps, because like you had all those like, like beams that would like this level kind of has like throwback with that, so you'll see these like little electric guys first of all. That are just kind of cool and visually looking wise. But you see, as we get into this next part right here, you're going to see these like lasers that you have to kind of like move with so you don't get hit and stuff like that. And right now, all you have is, left and right. What you're going to see in the next part is you're going to have them start to go different directions on the walls. And you're going to see now, like in the first part, you saw how the things were timed to go vertically. They're going to combine those two. So it starts getting more and more difficult, for example. So this is just kind of like that layering concept when it comes to like game design that I think is just really cool with this franchise.
If you were playing it on normal or a hard mode, would the lasers kill you instantly?
No. These always just zap you, but
okay.
They obviously do a lot more damage than what they do. No, those heat things don't kill you right away.
Okay, the heat things don't kill you either. Okay.
Now this next section is really cool because now
it's like a puzzle.
It's like a timing game too of when you do your jumps. Since I'm talking to you, I can't hear them, so it makes it a little bit more difficult because usually it's like doo doo doo, and you're like, okay, so it's a pattern of 3. Makes it easy enough to kind of time.
Oh yeah, we haven't even talked about the music or sound design at all because we're not listening to it because we have to have it muted for the sakes of the stream. Yeah, the music is always incredible in this game.
That's another thing is I will listen to like heavy metal bands play Mega Man 2 soundtrack. Like that's how good the Mega Man 2 soundtrack is. And I think to an extent Mega Man X has a pretty good soundtrack too. I don't know if you remember it much.
Oh, yeah.
All right, watch this next part.
Oh, you cheater. Oh, got another. No, that's not a mini. This is a mini boss.
Yeah. And if you just use like that,
cool, the bouncy balls, nice.
And if you just use the X Buster, it's kind of hard. But I'm kind of like, you know what? Screw this. You just let the bouncy balls ride, and it just takes care of business for you.
Yep. Oh, what was that? Like,
what was what? The Rush Jet.
I guess I hadn't seen that yet.
Yeah, I haven't used it. We just got it, and I just skipped past the explanation. You don't really use it in this stage at all. But in the next part, like later on, you can do these things where you can jump on the jet, and it'll take you wherever you need to go.
Freaking bats, man. Every game has stupid bats. So stupid. Every game has bats.
And what's really annoying, too, is like in this one, you have to like charge your shot. Is this a 4-1? Okay, it's a 4. So now you'll see there's these things, too, where if you got stuck in between, you'd have to time your jumps like 1, 2, and just keep jumping over them as they go if you missed your shot there.
If aliens ever played our video games to learn about us, they would think these guys are so fearful of bats. Every video game has bats.
They're like, they have this thing called Castlevania. I don't know why, but they put bats in it. They freaking love looking at them.
Everything has bats. Like every game, no matter what it is, randomly.
Do you have a fear of bats? You don't have a fear of bats, do you?
I don't understand the fear of bats or the big fascination of bats being bad baddies. No pun intended.
Nick, 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 Nick.
Well, I was watching Angry Video Game Nerd the other day, and he was doing a review on the Rocketeer, and there are bats enemies in the Rocketeer. Like, that's so dumb.
And here you'll see how
good job, good
you could
job.
see the combination of like the ups and downs and stuff like that.
Yeah, you handle that like a pro. You've done that a couple of times.
You know, I'm kind of like the best Mega Man player ever, in this, at least in this Twitch stream right now.
In this Twitch stream, you are hands down the best Mega Man player ever. Get you, Fuse Boy. Now, did you cheat, or did you just try to figure out you're on your own the order of attack? For like, I got to get this guy first, and I'll use him against him, or did you just look it up?
I just looked it up.
Okay. Fair enough. Again, I mean, making the game more fun.
It's to your point. I don't enjoy, like, just, okay, that one didn't work, time to go do this one. That's just not how I play games anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that thing is, if you were 12 or 15 and in high school and you had more time that you didn't have to do laundry and pay bills and a kid to take care of and a job and all that, you would be like, I spent $30 on this game. I want to get as many hours as possible out of it. That adds more longevity to the game. But when you only have an hour a day to play, you don't want to do that. You just want to play and have fun for that hour. So yeah, it's kind of like us reading books too, man. Don't have all the time in the world to invest in crappy books anymore.
I don't know. That's why I finally got you reading the good books.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that good book tonight. No spoilers.
I don't think you regret reading it. I don't think it was good, but I don't think you regret reading it.
There's very few books that I regret reading anymore, because I think that because of how we read books now, of always having a conversational approach, has changed my outlook on how to read a book.
Well, it allows us to get some things out of it that we wouldn't normally be able to.
Yeah. So which one are you fighting now? Because this is like Iceman now.
Yeah, a Tundra Man. So his is like
Tundra Man.
Yeah.
So creative. They haven't done this a billion times in any game ever.
It's funny too. If you ever play like the Mega Man X4 game, when you have to fight the Blizzard guy in that one, in the background you'll see like all the previous ice people that you've had to fight throughout the years.
So they're making fun of themselves, realizing that it is always...
I think so.
Yeah, maybe passive-aggressive, making fun of themselves.
Maybe.
There's another platformer. Man, I can't remember the name of it. I got it on, I think, Xbox 360 many years ago, and it was, the guy had a grappling hook, and it was so fun. And it was Mega Man / Castlevania-esque. And I remember playing that, and I got pretty good at it because I wanted all the achievements, because I was an achievement whore back in the day when I was still big into console games.
I don't remember what this guy's weakness was.
Uh-oh.
I'm just going to start spamming stuff and hope he dies.
Maybe, how do you hurt it? Man, that's not hurting him. Where's his health?
I don't know. Well, mini bosses never had health in Mega Man games.
Oh, there's a mini boss. Oh, yeah, there's another door there. Okay. What about dropping stuff on his head? Do you have any fire? Lava Man?
I think his weakness is like the bottom or whatever. And that's the nice thing, too, is just because you know the weakness, it speeds it up. But that doesn't mean that's like the only way that you could beat the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool, too, because a lot of games you have to have the specific counter, and that's frustrating sometimes. So to know that it's possible is just harder is saving grace. And I'm sure there are speedrunners that do the whole game with just, like, they never switch to their powers, right? That's got to be a thing. Beat the game with no other powers but the main blaster.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And those are what we call crazy people.
Those are what we call people who don't have kids.
Or don't take care of their kids.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of A, a little bit of B. So you'll see now I'm using some of these weapons just to get through the stuff faster. You know what I mean?
And I'm sure they appreciate you decimating their level like that. I remember when, I think it's on PlayStation, or is it on Dreamcast? The first, was it Mega Man Legends is the first 3D one, I think.
Oh, gosh.
I remember that was
terrible.
announced. Yeah, I remember it was announced. Everybody was so excited because, like, oh my God, Mega Man is going 3D. This is going to be the best thing ever. Because, I mean, this is the pinnacle of some of the best platforming games ever. And then that game came out, and it is beyond hot trash.
It's garbage. It's clear. I don't know anyone that would disagree that that's clearly the worst Mega Man game. Whoops, of all of them.
And not just a terrible Mega Man game. It's just a terrible game.
Yeah,
it's just terrible. But it's pretty rare because it didn't sell well, so it's actually kind of expensive to get the original disc. Again, I can't remember what console it was on. Let me look real quick while you're dying.
Oh, it was PlayStation.
It was it?
It was PlayStation, yeah. Because remember PlayStation, that was the era when N64 came out, and like the camera work was just hot garbage because you actually had to like press a button to change the camera. Like that was back in the era when like Spyro the Dragon and stuff like that existed, and you had to press buttons to change the camera because they didn't have smart camera work and stuff like that.
Yeah, it came out in 1997 on PlayStation. Yeah. And it's a pretty rare disc too because it sold so terrible because it was so terrible. Like I think it's like $100 disc, and then if you have the case with a good matted book and everything, it probably $100, $200. I don't know. I have to look up on eBay what it's going for now because I haven't looked at used games in a long time. Ooh, you're so pretty now.
Yeah.
You got Tundra Storm.
All right, so this right here is actually probably my favorite phase. Is this, was it Torchman's stage here? This is actually what I've been looking forward to showing you the whole time.
Oh, okay.
This is my favorite to kind of like just try to go through quickly.
You just use Tundra Man's power.
Oh yeah.
Wreck it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, are you in a camp?
Yeah.
Like campfires?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's their little lanterns and stuff. That's cool.
Oh no.
You got the flying. Oh, that was okay. That was neat. Did you do that on purpose or was that an accident?
Total accident. I mean, I did it on purpose.
Oh crap. Okay, one of these levels where you got that on your behind and you gotta go.
Yes, sir.
Woo-hoo.
And when I feel heavy metal, woohoo.
Now, did you slow that down or was the game lagging?
No, I slowed that down with like the speed. Okay, let me show you another really cool thing about this level here too. In this first level, I don't normally always blow up this owl at the top here. See how he's like a lantern? Yeah. But here's what's really cool is remember that Fuse Man stage that we beat? So when I switch to Fuse Man, I can like use these attacks, and while the lightning is out, it'll actually light up the stage so that you could see.
But if you didn't have that, this would be very tough. Oh, but the owl does come back. Yeah,
just depending on the oops. Depending on like the level, yeah.
Now, when you get that last guy out, will it go dark again? No, it doesn't go dark. So it doesn't go dark everywhere. But still, very, very cool game design, level design.
Oh, yeah. And here you'll notice this chicken. You'll see this chicken. You see how he's on fire? Watch what happens when I switch to this wind power.
Oh, he turns into, you see the feathers?
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
All right, so now we're gonna, after this part right here, we got another one of those timed stage attacks. I love these. These are super fun to me.
Oh. You ain't going for any of the power-ups. You're like, nope.
I ain't a sucker. I know how this works.
Yeah, they're always there. I remember in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they always put some of the health pizzas in certain spots that
Oh,
you
yeah,
would die instantly if you ever went for them.
It's like a trap to murder you.
Yep. Which kind of feels like a cheap game design, right? Like, come on, guys, you're better than this.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that they say is with good level design is you never want to make people make like blind jumps where they don't know where they're going. Like they should feel like they're using skill to beat the level, if anything. So some of those old games aren't actually good design. It's just kind of like, well,
it's cheap. It's cheap.
You just had to remember it to be able to get past it.
But when there's only 4 levels for the whole game and you can beat the thing in 10 or 15 minutes, somebody'd be pissed if they spent $60 on a game and beat it in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, these times.
Ooh! Oh, God. Oh, gotcha. Edit it out.
Nah, we'll just do it.
Oh, no, there's no save because of the way it was. Well, that's the first time that you died not on a fall.
Yeah.
All the other ones you were saved by the little fall dude.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I really like this level is actually it's kind of challenging to do. It's not easy, you know what I mean?
No matter what. There you go.
I gotta
go. Woo!
I got speed gear past this one. Uh-oh, my skill's not working. I better use my powers.
Dr. W.
Whoa.
Is this... Oh, no.
What weapon did we just use previously? Was it the wind power? Is that the one that we just got? Okay, we'll use
No, you got the
power.
Tundra.
Okay, so I'm gonna use the Tundra powers here.
Why is Tundra Man violet?
I don't know. You got something against Violet?
No, I was just curious of why he's not blue or white traditionally. I don't know.
Well, is he blue or is he just kind of violet because of like the red in the stage?
Maybe it's my TV. Tundra power for the win. You know, you can find it funny. His name is Mega Man, but he's a boy.
He's aiming towards being a man. He's
Okay.
Pinocchio. He's Pinocchio. He's moving towards being a man. Now, this is Blastman's stage that's coming up next. This one actually has really cool level design, too. It's kind of sad that they make Blockman the first boss, and it's like the most boring stage of all of them.
Blocks.
So you see these like things on the ground right here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those are dynamite boxes that you'll see when this guy hits it with his fire. You'll see it kind of explode, basically.
Start.
And you see if you hit this guy, it blows up the boxes. And here in this next part, you'll see as soon as I trip this wire here, you see how there's like all these. You see like this chain reaction that's going to happen.
Yeah. Oh, that was cool. When you kill him, his little thing still could kill you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that's something too that if it killed you, you'd be maybe a little upset. Like you killed him, you're like, I killed the guy, and then he kills you from the grave. That can feel a little cheap, but that's only going to get you one time, and it might only hurt you right at the beginning of the level. And now you've learned that, and you know that skill for the rest of the level. It's not like you fell down a pit, died, and have to start the whole thing over.
Well, watch me stand on this bus here to get lifted up here to the top. So there's like little things like that. And so in the next part, you're like, oh, okay, well, I'll just stand on buses. But if you stand on this next bus coming up here, it's going to like drive you right into those spikes. So just fun little level design things like that, I think, that makes this level kind of fun to play.
Good old exploding boxes and barrels. Oops. What's up there? What does the W do?
It recharges, I think, if I recall correctly, all of your... Oh, I know what I need to do. This is going to be tricky.
You got to do your dash
Watch
thing when
this.
you get up there.
Yeah, watch this. So I'm going to switch to... So I have to hit the button to switch to do the dash to the superpower to get up here.
Nice job.
So, like, little things like that, it just makes the game more fun to have, like, those sorts of things in it where you could just quickly do that without having to hit the start button and stuff like that to switch between weapons.
But you didn't have Tundra Man. That would have been a cool little mini-boss. You just wrecked them. Wreck, nerd!
Yeah, sorry, I kind of know the, the weaknesses to a lot of them, so I wreck a lot of the bosses pretty quick.
Yeah, I was worried for a second. I was like, oh, this is going to be a tough one. And it was like, dead. Well, we can never play. I can never play again because you're making me look really bad because you're good at this game and I'm terrible at Last of Us.
Well, you have to remember, I mean, not that I'm a master of this game, but I have had it for what, like 3 weeks now or so? Like, my son and I have been doing work on this. Ow.
I lagged again. 3 weeks? You mean 3 years?
No, we just got this for his birthday in July here.
Oh, I thought you bought this when it came out 3 years ago.
No, dude, I've only had this for 3 weeks now, so this is me at my weakest, bro.
No, this is you at your best. I thought you got it 3 years ago and you just picked it up, and no, you've been playing this straight for 3 weeks.
No, probably haven't played it in 2 weeks now. You want to see me actually play a game? Ah, darn it, save me, beat. If you there's a lag, so you're gonna see me fall here. If you want to see me play a game good, you need to see me play Mega Man 2, basically. That's a game that I've played just endlessly for a long time, that I kind of know the tricks and, you know, the ins and outs of that game, basically.
Next time.
Next time. Next time, Rabbit.
This though feels a lot like I mean, I think it's supposed to kind of be like a theme park ride, but it feels like we're at Universal and we're in one of those things where like it's falling around on us and the guide is like, we got to get out of here quick. We're all going to die on this ride that's pre-programmed. It felt very much like that. It was cool. It was a good level. Definitely. Oh man, Fireman's wrecking him. Oof. Oh, slow down for the cool kill. That was nice.
It's the equivalent of like the bombs blowing up in the background and I'm walking away in slow motion while everything's exploding.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the 8 bosses. Up next is Wiley.